We are.
So I'm just waiting on my end. I don't see anything. So
it's loading up.
do I have to make this bigger? We're just having a little problems at our end sorting things out, guys. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you fine. It says the meeting is streaming live.
Yeah, there you go.
So we're live on this end.
Great, wonderful. Hey, hi everybody. I'm David Gordon. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Evan Healy, and I've got Jud and Anne, who own and operate Morning Myst.
Hello.
They're a family-run farm distillery along the Columbia River Valley, about 10 miles south of the Canadian border. Evan and I first visited Jud and Anne in 2010 in their home in Northport, Washington. They've been running our primary distillers since 2011. We'd been introduced to them by Anne Harmon, an educator, author, and distiller that we had worked with since 2007. They're both plant geeks. You can tell by looking at them. Jud oversees the farming operation, and Anne sits at the control switch, balancing out scheduling, as well as Jud's best instincts. Apparently, he only has best instincts.
Oh, no.
Instincts. So that's for sure. Anyways, welcome. Hi. This is great. Tell us about your journey in becoming a family-run distillery.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, I think it would start when we moved up here a long time ago, my parents, and we started a nursery, and we hired Anne on, and anyway, she fell in love with my sister and family, and then eventually me. But also, you were from Phoenix, and growing up in the country and being around all the farming and the plants and all of that, I think really spoke to her. And that's kind of how we fell in love. We fell in love with plants, growing up together on our nursery. I don't know, 500 varieties of things there, and then fell in love with each other, got married, and here we are.
Yeah.
Cool. Wonderful. Never tired of hearing it.
No. So we got married, built a small log cabin. My parents got out of the nursery business, but we both just love growing. And so we were growing some nursery stock on the side. We wanted to do something more, and we started doing garlic, organic garlic, which then kind of got us connected with Anne Harmon. She was this interesting lady that had moved here, I don't even know, probably around 2005. And through the organic process, we were able to bump into her, and she kind of introduced both of us to aromatic and medicinal herbs, which we had been with every fruit, nut, and berry known to man in the Northern Hemisphere. And she introduced us to medicinal and aromatic herbs. And it was like this whole new world to us. And so we started growing for her as one of her growers back when Morning Myst was really small. And as it began to grow and there was, apparently demand for the product, she's like, hey, I want you guys to be able to grow. I want you to grow more for me. And then it turned into, hey, can you help me distill? I need people that can work with me. And eventually we ended up buying the business from her because it just kept getting bigger and bigger. Evan Healy was taking off and all of that. And she's like, okay, she's a wonderful person, one of our best friends and fellow plant geek, probably more so than we are even. And, we like business. We love doing what we're doing. We have a big family. And so it gave us the opportunity to grow more. And she's like, I want to teach. I want to be able to grow plants, and I don't want to do this much. Do you guys want to take over? And that's kind of how we got into from growing and plants and family to aromatic plants and distilling was just, I don't know, just being, plant geeks, hanging out with plant geeks and just doing more of that.
Well, it's, having been, to your, farm and participated in the distillation for so many years, I mean, one of the things that struck me is not only your passion and authenticity and sincerity, but meeting your family and seeing them grow up and such. And, I just, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about what, your kids are doing and how they're participating in the business.
Yeah. So, I mean, we could not do what we do without them at this point. We would not. We would not. We could not. We would not. So our 3 older kids are just so helpful with the business stuff, especially the farming end of things, and then also the stills. I mean, they're up there. When we first started, Jud and I did all of the loading of the stills and everything, and it's exhausting. We're a lot older than we were when we first started this. Or we feel a lot older than we did.
I think it's the miles.
Probably the miles. So they help every morning. They're up there loading the stills with us and just helping out. And so they're very good about that. Our oldest daughter does a lot of the distilling for us and does a lot of the mixing and the bottling and helping out with that. And the boys are wanting to do more of that as they get a little older. So.
But they're kind of my number, the older. So Virginia, our oldest, is 20. Gideon is 18 and Hunter is 16. He just got his driver's license yesterday. He's super excited, being as far out as we are. But Hunter and Gideon, as our oldest, I mean, they're kind of my right hand in the field. If we need something done, a piece of equipment or a harvest, say we need rose geranium. Hey guys, I need 500 pounds of rose geranium. They know what to do. I don't have to explain it. I don't have to make it all happen. They're my number 1 crew guys out there. And then, they come help pack and load stills. So, that's just those 3. My dad, who they've since sold the nursery business, but they live here now. My dad is the irrigation guy. My mom is the head tractor person. So trying to get her out on the tractor, well, not out on the tractor, getting her off the tractor. Like, hey, we need to, she just put down some crops for us that was for building soil. So she'll be out there for 6-8 hours. And she smiled, covered in dirt. My mom just loves it. So, my dad runs irrigation. Mom's doing a lot of the tractor work, though the boys get their time on the tractor too. And then your mom is doing, she does tutoring with the kids. She's a certified teacher and helps out around the house, does some of the cooking.
Does the laundry, which, I hate laundry. So. My mom is my laundry angel that comes and takes care of that.
Which is great. It's great. So, pretty much all of the kids as grandparents, their cousins, one of their cousins works here also. My sister does books for us. So it's kind of a family affair. We're all a part of this.
Yeah. So cool. It's wonderful. And it's so real when we're there to see you guys, to see the home and see how it's changed over the years. So it's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. It's fun.
Do you remember the first crops we worked on together?
Yes, we do. It was rose geranium was the first crop that we grew for you guys. It was my first introduction to rose geranium. It was a new experience, super cool. And I think the next year we did lemon thyme, which is one of my favorites also. It's a super powerful, great HydroSoul. And you guys saw the beauty of it too. But rose geranium was the first, and then the second one that we grew for you was lemon thyme.
Yeah, and rose geranium remains our biggest selling HydroSoul.
Oh, great! Yeah, we love it.
Yeah. Over the years, we've grown 1 or 2 crops of a few hundred gallons to more than a half dozen crops of several thousand gallons.
Yeah.
What was it about your manufacturing practices that generate such confidence?
Well, do you want to answer that, or shall I? Because it's all technically kind of stuff. If you want me to.
Yeah.
Well, I would say, you talk about our passion. I would say we're also fanatical about our sterilization and manufacturing processes. One thing Anne Harmon talked to us about a lot, it's in her book too, is just that we're dealing with waters, and waters can be contaminated. And so how your manufacturing practice, the process of bringing it from the field to the still to the bottles and to you guys, has to be carefully done. And a lot of that isn't done in the industry. So we're just really fanatical. Everything, once it leaves the process of steam and starts to turn back into a hydrosol, and watching the videos with Evan, you can see it taking place. Anything after the steam is sanitized, all the way to the very bottles and stuff that we send to you guys. And so that's super critical to us. A, B, it also ensures that the product isn't going to go bad. And then I would say the second most important thing is our copper stills. We distill on copper. It's a highly reactive material in regards to heat and sulfur and yeast and things like that. And so what gives us confidence about that is that one, it's bactericidal, fungicidal, if you will. Two, there's small trace amounts that get into the hydrosol. It's very, very like parts per billion kind of thing. But we feel like it adds an additional layer of safety to the product. And the copper stills, not only are traditional, but because they react with those other things that we're talking about, the hydrosol comes off sweet. A lot of stainless steel stills, the hydrosol takes a while for it to kind of age out nice. It doesn't really smell the way it's going to be right off the still. And that's not always the case, but it's generally the case to a degree. And so we can be distilling and know what our hydrosol is pretty much going to smell like right off the still. Mm-hmm. And so not only can we know that, it gives us confidence in what we're producing, but second, I would say also, it allows the consumer, you guys, everybody that's watching, to be able to use the product right away, mm-hmm. rather than waiting for some of those, what they call still notes to disappear. And that can take up to 6 months on certain products. But if you can use it right away, it's fresh, it's vibrant, and it's going to be the best for the end consumer that way, to be able to use a product that is at its ultimate potential. And that's our processes. I mean, that's the two big things I would say, but that just helps us really be confident in what we're delivering to Evan Healy and everybody else.
And you use fresh plant material.
Yeah.
Yep. Usually straight from the field and into the still.
Right. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes a huge difference.
It does. It does make a really big difference. I mean, we try to we're limited what we can grow here. And we have other things that we would like to distill, but a lot of products, they just don't ship. You try to get them from somewhere else and you bring them in and they're just not the same.
Just nasty or old and tired. They've lost a lot of their waters in them. I mean, a hydrosol is collecting not just the volatiles out of the plant, but a lot of the alcohols and the cellular water, the water that comes from the plant. And if you're going to ship something and it's going to take a week in a hot truck somewhere, I mean, we all know what week-old salad looks like in the fridge. Now, you're not going to eat that because it's not optimum. And so if we can extract right here from the farm fresh plant material or other farms that we have in the area, it really helps us do quality control, and we feel create a really great product that way.
Yeah. Wow. And talking about the other farms in the area, we had both the joy and the fear of growing. And we started and just shared hydrosols with our customers. They loved them and they wanted more. And right. We had worked with farms and distillers in different parts of the world, certainly throughout Europe and France and Italy and Corsica, among others. And we've run into problems with those hydrosols, that they would, often suffer either bloom or some form of age. We've never, ever in all these years had any problem whatsoever. And it's a true statement, and it's somewhat of a shocking statement. Yeah. But, we wanted to keep growing, and I just said to you guys, help us. What can you do?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was a scary thing for us because we knew we couldn't keep up with your demand, but we had enough relationship and trust with you that we said, let's get creative. Let's try to find some more people that can help with this. And, you know, Jud and I talked about, well, could we become a brokerage and bring in other products? But we honestly, that just sounded like a lot of work and hassle and headache. And so we said, okay, we're just going to have to trust. We got to trust Evan Healy. We have to trust other distillers, and let's teach other people and bring in some more distillers.
Just like kind of what happened with us, you know, and Harmon's business grew, and she brought us in, and we're going, okay, do we want to get big, or do we want to encourage other people in the valley, in this area, if you will? And it's like, we don't want to become a giant factory, if you will.
Yeah.
This is a small family farm. I mean, it doesn't feel small sometimes with all the people and the kids and stuff like that, but it's small, you know, we know everybody. And so it was like, okay, how do we do this? And so, you know, like Anne said, we started training other people, some of our growers that we'd already been working with for 3-5 years. It's like, okay, we need some help. And I think this is a great opportunity for you to grow, the opportunity to take care of you guys that have supported us and we've supported you. How do we bring other people into this conversation? And, you know, that has a lot to do with trust. You know, with how we've worked together over the years, how you guys have been so good about communicating with us. And, you know, the other people that we know in this area that have been trustworthy farmers and suppliers for us. So it's like, as you grew, let's help other people grow too. It benefits us all by sharing that.
Yeah. And in terms of the number of families, the number of crops, the number of acres, can you help, you know, give us a sense of the scale of how things have grown?
Yeah, Anne was doing the math on that.
So yeah, sorry, we wrote it all down, but I want to make sure I get it right. So right here in the Columbia River Valley, we have 8 families that are involved with growing products, either for Evan Healy or for us, and some Evan Healy and other companies. And there's about 100 people that are involved in that, whether it was family members or employees. So it's been a really great thing for this area where it's really hard to find a job around here, and you gotta drive somewhere. And so it's been really neat to see that it's brought a lot of life and commerce to our county.
Yeah. There's about 100 acres that is probably directly related to Evan Healy products, if you will. And there's more acres than that. And I mean, just our farm here is 20 acres, but we have 18 acres under fence, probably 12 to 15 intensively farmed. And then all the other farms that we work with, everybody from that have Doug fir that we don't have enough of. We have a couple of growers that have 40 acres of Doug fir. And so that's where we get our Doug fir to be able to distill. So yeah, 100 acres plus, that's just directly related to products that we provide Evan Healy, plus all the other things that we grow. And we have about 40 species on farm that we produce here.
Keep us busy.
Right. So that's in addition to what you do for us, you know, calendula, clary sage, lemon thyme, lavender, geranium. There's
yeah, you guys have a lot, but we still even have more that we have a lot of, and we have a few that we're working on in the future too.
Good. We'll expect to have some of those secrets.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're plant geeks. We can't help ourselves.
Good. What gets you up in the morning?
Coffee.
Children.
True, that's very true.
The cat right now.
Children and the cat. No, we just love. I tell people I feel so blessed because this is our dream job.
It really is.
We worked hard. Yeah. We did a lot of things. We did the hard work, but it's farming. It's food and flavor and fragrance. It's a little bit of sciencey stuff, and it's business. And we really are passionate about kind of those 4 things. And this business is this strange conglomeration of all of those things that we love. And I mentioned business last, but it's because all of those are important to us. But we've talked about this. We wouldn't work this hard if we couldn't share it with other people. Right. We really wouldn't. It's like, but it has more value to us when we can share it with other people. The beauty of plants, the beauty of the medicine, just the beauty of what they do and what they mean to people. To us, being able to share this story, our family here, we want it to be an encouragement to other people to try, to work, to touch some part of that, because I think it's important for who we are as people. We may live in cities, or we may live here, there, or everywhere, but in the end, we're all people of the dirt, because that's where it all comes from. And so if we can share some aspect of that, it's important to us.
Yeah. Well, just that simple sentiment of wanting to make an impact.
Oh, yes.
I mean, that's certainly, I'd like to think what gets you guys, not only what gets you guys up, but what gets me up, and, the team here is, can we make an impact? Can we be seen and heard and affect the lives of others? And you guys do that in such a profound way. And I know that every time, I find myself, with you guys, I'm not in an office, I'm not in a concrete world, I'm in the earth. And it always is like, oh, right. This is what I do. And it's just delightful. It's being there in the earth, connecting to the ground. It truly is what you said. It is what it's all about. And being able to share that, is what I think motivates, our company. I think, hearing you say that, it's the pleasure of making an impact. I think it's such a, it's a cool thing. And it's a great way to, I think, wrap up. Because what else do you want to do in life than make an impact? And you guys have such a wonderful impact, on our lives, and our business, and for our customers. Truly.
Thank you.
Well, you guys do a great job of sharing that story and making an impact yourself. We can't be grateful enough for just being able to be a part of what you guys are doing. I mean, we have this story here, but without what you guys do, this story is just this little place in Washington State, and what you guys do is amazing in getting it out and having the integrity of sharing it clearly and cleanly to people about why it's important. And I think it's great.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you. Well, I know that our customers just love to connect and see who's doing all the magic, and so I know that we've made a wonderful vision for them to partake in, this afternoon. So thank you guys, and thank you
David.
All Evan Healy customers.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.